The relationship of the US and Iran needs to be studied, from being close friends and supporting each other in hardships, to destroying each other and disturbing the world peace. If your country is also suffering from a sudden spike of gas prices due to them, then you came to the right video, where I'll be explaining how the US is the most useless and confusing part in this war. This war is doing nothing but just disobeying and disturbing the world peace. As a reminder, this video is full of sarcasm and humor, so you don't need to take this video seriously. In the 1940s, the US and Iran were lovebirds and spent years building their relationship. Iran, who was tired and angry at its old exes, the Soviet Union and Britain, who kept stealing their oil, and that's when Iran saw a rich, young, wealthy country. Meanwhile, the US was charmed by Iran's big, sexy, deep oil pockets. This was the love at first sight. They were trading gifts, oil, and weapons and were looking forward to a bright future, but that's when the US cheated behind Iran's back. Their relationship completely collapsed in 1953 because of the US's love of money and control over Iran. Iran's new prime minister, Mohammad Mossadegh, decided that Iran's oil should belong to Iranians, not British companies. He broke up the British monopoly. As Britain was friends with the US, he begged them to intervene. America, terrified of losing access to Iran's oil in its region, and worried that she might go back to its evil ex, the Soviet Union. Through Operation Ajax, the CIA covertly orchestrated a coup, overthrew the democratic government, and handed absolute power to a royal dictator, the Shah. The US essentially replaced old prime minister with a puppet who would just obey its orders. The Iranian public never forgot this betrayal. For the next 26 years, the US and Iran lived a lavish but manipulating relationship due to the Shah, but in front of everyone, they were the ultimate power couple. In this period, the US gifted Iran with expensive gifts like fighter jets, the F-14, and Iran had its first nuclear reactor. But behind closed doors, it was clearly a toxic relationship. The Shah was abusing his own people to keep the US happy, using a brutal secret police force to lock up dissenters. The Iranian public watched their leader sell out his country to a partner who didn't care about their well-being. In 1979, Iran had enough and threw out the Shah, which caused the US and Iran to have a breakup. The breakup was messy, and the US also took the exiled Shah in. Iran suspected the US was plotting another 1953-style betrayal. In retaliation, Iranian students stormed against the US embassy and took 53 Americans hostage for more than 1 year. It was a complete end of friendship, and Iran also labeled the US as the Great Satan, and the US slapped Iran with devastating sanctions, vowing to starve them economically. Since 1979, they have been stuck in the worst post-breakup situation. After that, they refused to talk directly and talked only through threats and mutual friends. As of Iran, they started using US gifts against them. Iran used the military equipment against US allies that US bought, and used the nuclear foundation that US built them to start enriching uranium. The US tried to quietly ruin Iran's new life by launching the Stuxnet cyber virus to blow up their nuclear centrifuges. Iran responded by backing regional militias to target US troops. While the US and Iran were in endless passive-aggressive fights, the US started a new relationship with its new ally, Israel. For years, Israel acted like the partner whispering in America's ear. Why do you keep trying to talk to your ex? They are building weapons, they are lying to you, and they want to destroy us both. As both Israel and the US had bad experiences in their past, they shared their intelligence with each other and started campaigns against Iran's allies, which caused Iran to fight for their allies, and that's how the present tension started, as Iran is currently grounded.